It's great to see so many friends and some folks that I haven't seen in quite a while. So it's nice to see you all and a couple new faces too. So thanks for coming out. And I really appreciate everything you guys do. The food truck ordinance, and wanted to thank Mary. I see Mary here in the back. She's been, there's our tireless worker. Thank you so much for everything you do. And Mary and Jerry, we can give both of them. These two, and when we first started having the food trucks come here, and nobody really knew what to do, what to make of it. It just sort of, it was like spontaneous combustion. It just sort of happened. And there were a lot of complaints. There were a lot of concerns from the shop owners and the parking and the trash and who's going to do what and the traffic, pedestrian safety. We had meetings over at the VFW. We had all kinds of working groups set up, the chamber, and you know, but everyone said at the end of the day, because the easy thing is to put no large truck parking and they're done. Just get rid of them. And everyone said, you know what? These are problems that we could come up with solutions for. We seem to like it. Let's keep it, let's embrace it, but let's control it. And let's come up with some mechanisms to do that. Let's make it safer. Let's make sure that we have a crosswalk. We now have, we're taking that a step further. I came up with a little idea. I was actually in Santa Barbara not too long ago, and I saw these lighted beacons where you press the button to cross the street. The city didn't have anything like this, where there's special lighted beacons. We've got some that are similar, but they're not that great. The ones up there were pretty cool, so I took a picture of it with my cell phone. I sent it to my staff and said, I want these on Yarmouth. They're being installed now. So we got those coming in for pedestrian safety, which we absolutely need. We put in the crosswalk, but the things that you guys have really come up with, the ideas. We now have a solution we're working through. We're close to a solution, and legislatively, where we're going to have the permit process in place. The city attorney is now finalizing and signing off on that. We just learned it might have to go to the Public Works Commission, because it didn't before. It was just the Transportation Committee, but it's Public Works related, so it may have to go there. Kevin James, who's a very dear friend of mine, I talk to him regularly. He's the president of the Public Works Commission, so I'm happy to talk to him about this if it needs to go there and move it pretty quick as well, if not get it waived entirely. But that's moving forward. What's neat about that is it's not a piece of legislation just for Granada Hills. It's actually citywide. So this is going to actually solve a lot of people's problems. A lot of other folks have had these similar issues in Venice, and you guys were the ones that came up with the ideas. And we work very closely together to navigate that process. So we're close to that. We also have learned that as soon as we do have it approved by the council and signed by the mayor, it's 30 to 40 days to take effect, because new ordinances have to be posted in a newspaper. But we've learned you don't have to wait to start the process. So you can catch up on that month by beginning the permitting process for all the vendors. So we don't have to wait that month. So as soon as we get it approved, you're done. And then we can start that process.
Mitch, got a question for you. There was a report that a lot of the food trucks in the city have not been inspected by the county.
Correct, I saw that.
What about the ones who are coming up here? Is that going to be part of the permit?
Yeah, that's why I don't eat out of those.
In years, somebody haven't been inspected.
I should have said that. We have only the best ones here. No, we've actually contacted the county health department. The city has as well, and asked them. They've got to step that up. We had an issue with that early on, where we were trying to get county health inspectors out here to walk it. They keep saying that they're short-staffed. They've told us, it was just I think the story was actually in the paper yesterday, that they're finally hiring again in the county, and a lot of health inspectors and other inspectors and those types. So that was out there. We're hoping that as soon as their final budget comes through, they're actually going to have more inspectors, because these folks are paying for those inspection fees, but they're not sending the inspectors out to do it. So we want to make sure that it's safe, obviously.
Pitch for those, where they have a grading on the trucks, like in the brick and mortar restaurants?
Yeah, but they're not sending the inspectors out on a regular basis.
That's right.
I know, but will
Make
those
sure that
trucks,
those letter grades,
Yes.
those trucks have those letter grades?
they're supposed to.
Yeah, they have the letter grades, but that doesn't tell you the last time they were
Yeah,
inspected.
and again, it's county, but there's, yeah.